So Lisa Donohue, this is your first time at the Demexco. How do you like it?
So far, I really enjoy it. It's great to see all the crowd here. There's a lot of energy, a lot of dynamism here, and there's just a range of companies that are writing the future for our industry. You know, everyone from the large companies of Facebook and Google, et cetera, that people know, but also more importantly to the startups and the tech companies that, as I said, are really writing the future of communications.
So companies are showing a lot of new technology here, new techniques. What impressed you the most?
Well, I think the area that I'm really looking to continue to learn the most about is a lot in VR, or obviously virtual reality. There's VR and there's AR, and ultimately there's obviously AI, artificial intelligence, but I think near in VR and AR really provide some of the greatest opportunities for us in the communication landscape to better connect our clients' brands with their consumers.
Can you be a bit more specific? What can virtual reality do for companies, for brands?
Well, I think the reality, no pun intended, is that there's a lot that virtual reality can do. And I think the main way to think about it is as an enhanced storytelling technique, right? So when consumers choose about brands, they always do it both rationally and emotionally. So the degree that a brand can tell a story and have an ongoing dialogue or engagement with the consumer is going to benefit them more. And I think virtual reality really creates that opportunity to do that and to do more enhanced storytelling. Some of that storytelling could be more functional. So a brand could determine a particular barrier to sale. So let's say in the auto industry, it's a test drive, right? And so they can use virtual reality to simulate a test drive. On the other end of the spectrum, you know, brands can just completely tell a story where the brand is almost, underneath the storyline, but that better connects them emotionally, right, with the brand.
So VR is a new technology besides all the technologies and platforms that we have right now. So basically you can say it has never been easier for brands to get in touch with the consumer, yet it is so hard for them. Do you agree?
So, you know, generally speaking, I do agree with that. There's a lot of opportunities to reach consumers, but I think the reality is brands need to flip their thinking and they need to invite the consumer to engage with them. We live in a world where consumers can much more drive their own destiny and make the choices of the brands that they want to interact with. So brands need to think about that being an invitation in. And to do that, you need to understand when is it best to intersect that consumer, what content will most likely pull them in and wish to engage, and then what value exchange will keep that engagement going on for a long period of time.
Does this include every brand there is, or are there certain brands or companies from certain areas that can engage better with consumers?
I honestly think it engages every brand. A lot of times when a new technology comes along, people think that it's endemic to certain categories or products. And I think the reality of virtual reality is that it can cross the board. So for example, I mentioned test driving on a car. Or if you take something like Samsung, who obviously is in the virtual reality space, it seems a bit more endemic. But on the other hand of the spectrum, Procter & Gamble use virtual reality for deodorant and to stimulate high-stress environments. And I think most people would not necessarily have thought of that, right, for deodorant. So honestly, I think every brand should be exploring what is the opportunity to enhance their storytelling.
So I think we both agree when we say we live in a highly technology-driven age. What does this mean not only for brands, but for agencies as well?
I think from agencies, it's a couple of different things. I think first, agencies need to understand and think about how to use technology for the work that we actually do for our clients, right? And how can we do that work better or more efficiently or whatever the case may be. I think that we need to make sure that we simplify the complex for clients. You know, as I said earlier, it's great to walk around this floor and see everything here. And on the other hand, it can be overwhelming. So we, as agency partners, need to understand how to simplify that for clients and how to guide them where they should focus and spend their energies.
Now having virtual reality and chatbots, things like that, and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, with all these new platforms, how is the traditional media plan changing from your point of view?
You know, it's changing in a couple of ways. Obviously, in one way, clients are shifting money to these other channels. And so therefore, money does tend to move around. And at times, traditional channels have been reduced. But also, if you think about it, virtual reality can augment some of the traditional channels, right? So if you think about how virtual reality can play an important role, or how some traditional channels are a part of that storytelling, it actually can enhance what they do. So I never come at this of a world of traditional channels are dead, right? It's all about the future. It's always going to be about a combination, and things are going to be much more interdependent on each other.
When we're saying traditional channels are dead, most people mean print today, printed magazines or newspapers. Maybe they mean TV in a couple of months or years. How important are they still?
They're very important, and depending on the client and category, you can look at market mix modeling results or attribution results that clearly show that those channels drive business, absolutely. So, I'm never one to pronounce any particular channel dead. I think what is key for all of them is to continue to iterate and understand how technology can continue to enhance their product, right? They just need to continue to build.
Thank you very much.